So, we will continue our study on magnetic properties of solids. So, I have discussed about the origin of diamagnetism and that expression we got for diamagnetism that is mu okay, let us write chi is chi equal to minus number of atoms per unit volume and each atom have atomic number z and then E square R 0 square, okay, electronic charge square, then this is the radius of the atom, average radius of the atom, and then mu 0 divided by 6 m, right, mass of the electron. So, next property, next it is the paramagnetic ferromagnetic antiferromagnetic ferrimagnetic right. So, next these are the type of magnetism in solid which based on origin of this magnetism is basically origin of this is permanent dipole moment, okay. So, permanent dipole moment mu, it can be mu L, mu S or mu J, it depends on the value of L S J, right. So, for a atom it has permanent dipole moment, right, that is that based on total orbital angular momentum, total spin angular momentum, and then from these two coupling of Ls we get the total angular momentum, that is J, okay, for that atom. So, depending on this value we will get the magnetic moment for that atom, right. So, in general I am writing just mu, it can be mu L, mu S, mu J, that we will see, that depends on the material, which type of material and what are the atom, whether it is iron, it is cobalt or it is copper, etc., right. Wherever the permanent dipole moment is there, so that material will show the property one of them, it will show the property one of them. So, now we will discuss the paramagnetic material. What is the reason of this paramagnetism so that we will discuss, right. So, dipole moment are there. Now, depending the orientation of this dipole moment in response of magnetic field, with field or without field, okay, based on that this paramagnetism, ferromagnetism, etc., this comes, right. So, now let us just concentrate on this paramagnetic property of solids. So, obviously, these solids have the atoms sitting on lattice, right, sitting on lattice. Okay. So, each atom is having the dipole moment. They are randomly oriented. Right. So, now Langevin basically, Langevin classical theory, Langevin classical theory for paramagnetism. So, Langevin considered that this is a paramagnetic gas means in gas atoms are free to move in any direction, they are free to move. Similarly, here magnetic moment attached with each atom, they are sitting at the lattice, but this moment can rotate freely. In any direction, right. So, thus it is called the paramagnetic gas, right. There is no restriction on the rotation of the magnetic moment attached with the atom, right. So, this is the assumption. This is the classical concept of the type of rotation of the magnetic moment, and later on we will see that in case of quantum theory. So, this rotation, it cannot be free, it cannot rotate in all directions, there will be restriction on this, it will be quantized. So, that we will discuss later on. Let us discuss the classical theory. So, according to classical theory, just it is assumed that this magnetic moment can rotate in any direction. They are free to rotate like gas molecule or free to move anywhere in any direction. Okay. So, what will happen if I apply magnetic field? If I apply magnetic field in this material at a particular temperature, if I apply magnetic field B at a particular temperature T, the system is kept at a particular temperature, then what will happen? So, this moment, magnetic moment, it has mu, its value is mu, direction are different, that is fine, but magnitude are same for each moment. So, you know that when it is under magnetic field, it will have the potential energy, right. Potential energy equal to minus mu dot B, and it will feel torque, right. It will feel torque, magnetic moment in a magnetic field, it will feel torque, and that is defined by that mu cross B, right. Now, if this mu, okay, if I take just one one dipole moment. So, it makes angle theta with the direction of the magnetic field, right. So, then this will be, this I can write minus mu b cos theta, right, minus mu b cos theta, right. So, probably cannot see, so I can write here. So, potential energy, it will be minus mu v cos theta, and this torque will be mu v sin theta, right. Now, my magnetic field magnitude and direction are fixed, say I have applied a particular magnetic field in a particular direction, right. Now, this potential energy and torque, it will depend on their orientation, this theta, so it varies with cos theta energy, and this torque varies with sin theta, right. So, it will be depending on this, so depending on this theta value, okay, or depending on the torque, so this theta value will be decided, right, Now, so magnetic field applying torque on this dipole moment, and dipole moments will try to orient along this magnetic field direction, right. So, on the other hand, the system have some temperature, because of this temperature it will try to disorder it. So, magnetic field is trying to take all the moment in its own direction, okay, and so trying to order them in a at the direction of the magnetic field, and on the other hand this thermal energy, it will try to disorder it, okay. So, it will try to disorder it, okay. So, that decided by the Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics. So, if your system, so that is, that factor is exponential minus E by kT kBT, right. So, if system have energy E, okay, if something hold with some this energy, now this thermal energy will try to overcome it depending on this temperature. Now, what will happen? So, this will decided the degree of disorderness due to temperature, and this potential energy due to this magnetic field, it will so depending on that it will decided the orderness of this magnetic moment. So, this E basically that minus, so it will minus plus mu v cos theta, right. So, this the due to this thermal energy, this is the factor which will try to disorder this orientation, right. So, magnetic field applying torque, and there the sin theta, it will orientation will depend on the sin theta. So, if I have n number of moment or atoms per unit volume. So, out of n number of moment, okay. So, how many will be oriented at angle theta to theta plus d theta in this range? How many moment will be oriented in this range of angle, d theta range of angle? So, starting from theta, so theta to theta plus d theta in this range, how many moment will be oriented? So, that will be definitely proportional to the, so that say in this range is oriented, out of this n, dn number are oriented with this angle range d theta. So, I can write, so dn basically it will be proportional to, due to magnetic field, that is this is the factor sin theta, and this due to thermal energy, this is the another factor. So, these two factor competition between these two factors, and then at equilibrium condition there will be some equilibrium at some angle, it will be. So, this both factor are equally contribute. So, we will get the equilibrium, and at that equilibrium condition, so dn number of atoms or moments will be oriented at angle theta within this range d theta. So, I can write this proportional to this, and then sin theta and then d theta, right, in this d theta range. So, this proportional, so I can take proportionality constant C, So, this is the within this d theta range, this is the number of moments or atoms are oriented. So, definitely orientation it can be, so 0, so it can be, 0 to 180 degree, it can be 0 to 180 degree, right. So, this theta can take value 0 to 180 degree. So, it can orientate along this or this opposite, that is the limit. Okay. So, its theta value can be 0 to 180. So, within this range all molecules, all atoms or all moments will be there, n number of moments will be there, right. So, if I integrate dn, right. So, that, so dn equal to, let me keep it because I need later on. So, this is exponential mu b cos theta by kbt sin theta d theta, right, d theta. So, now if I take all orientation 0 to pi orientation, so this if I integrate over this angle, so it has to be total number of atoms, right, total number of atoms, that is the condition. Okay. And from that condition I can get the value of the C constant. So, this basically 0 to pi, I have to integrate over this term, So, I can take this mu I can take this. Okay, let me write here. So, mu b by kbt that is equal to alpha, right. So, this I can write C e to the power alpha cos theta, right, sin theta d theta, right, where alpha equal to this, and then if I take alpha cos theta, not alpha cos theta, I think I will take cos theta equal to x, then sin theta d theta equal to minus dx, right. So, cos to sin minus, and then this n equal to c, then I am getting x cos theta. So, this is 1 to minus 1 and exponential alpha x, and then sin theta d theta equal to minus x minus dx. So, minus dx. So, negative sign is there. So, instead of putting negative sign, I can put this minus and this is plus, right. So, this will give me c by alpha e to the power x, sorry, e to the power alpha x equal to plus 1 minus e to the power minus alpha, right. So, this I have to put in bracket. So, what I am getting? I am getting the c value, equal to n alpha by this, So, let me write it here. I think yeah, that I need. So, ultimately what I got? C value equal to n alpha divided by e to the power alpha minus e to the power minus alpha, right, where alpha equal to mu b by kbt, right. So, that is the C value, okay, constant under that condition that within all direction 0 to pi direction, all dipole moment will be there. So, now what I want? I want to find out the magnetization along the direction of field, right. So, magnetization along the direction of the field So, what will be the, so this is the mu, this is the b, this is the theta. So, component of this along this field direction will be mu cos theta, right. So, each moment will have component along this field direction, that is mu cos theta. So, contribution in magnetization along the field direction. So, that is the definition of the magnetization basically. Magnetic moment per unit volume along the, in which direction? Along the magnetic field direction. Okay. So, along the field direction, that is the magnetic moment for which dipole, now which are having the angle theta, right. So, how many dipole moments are at this angle? dn number at this angle within this d theta range, right. So, each will have this. So, if I multiply dn with this mu cos theta, cos theta, cos theta. So, that will be the magnetic moment, that will be the magnetic moment for this dn number of dipole moment along the field direction, right. So, that means here this here I have to multiply this, what is this value? Mu cos theta, I have to multiply mu cos theta, here I have to multiply mu cos theta. So, additionally I have to put here mu cos theta, right, here mu cos theta. So, now I have to integrate for different theta. So, this again this I have to integrate 0 to pi, 0 to phi, 0 to phi. Okay. So, then all dipole moment in different angle, okay, what is the component along this magnetic field direction. So, that I will get for all n atoms per unit volume, n magnetic moment per unit volume. So, that is nothing but the magnetization. So, then this will be my magnetization, right. So, I have to evaluate this integration, So, for this integration, so basically this is basically m, this is basically m. So, m equal to so let us keep C, this one, and let me put that I have mu, here also I can keep out mu, C mu. So, cos theta sin theta d theta, cos theta sin theta d theta, and then here I will get, so 0 to pi e to the power alpha cos theta, e to the power alpha cos theta, right, e to the power alpha cos theta, and then sin theta cos theta d theta, then sin theta d theta cos theta, then sin theta or cos theta sin theta d theta, right. Now, again you take this cos theta equal to x, So, this will be cos theta equal to x, this will be x, cos theta, that will be, it will be x, and that sin theta d theta will be minus dx, x value was here. So, minus, it will be pi to 0, So, pi is minus 1, 0 is 1, as we have done earlier, right. So, this integration we have to do. So, this I replaced with dx, right. So, integration by parts. So, this integration by parts, right. So, if you take integration of parts, so C mu, and then integration of parts, you know this, I have to integration of u dv, equal to uv minus integration of v du, right. So, if you know how to do that, so basically x one has to consider as a u x. So, this I think I should write before. So, there is a procedure for doing this. So, x e to the power alpha x dx. So, this as if this u x is u and this is dv. Okay. So, integration by parts will give you c mu and then uv x uv. So, e to the power alpha x by alpha, right, and then minus 1 to plus 1 minus integration of minus 1 to plus 1 v du. So, v is alpha x by alpha, du is dx, du is dx, right, and this will give me alpha square if I do integration of this alpha square, and then this will minus 1 to plus 1, right. So, what you will get? You will get c mu, I can take alpha common. So, I think c is divided by alpha, and then what I am getting here? I am getting for this one, okay, for this one, this is the 1 e to the, so I am getting e to the power alpha and then e to the power minus alpha, minus of e to the power minus alpha, and x is minus 1. So, I will get plus e to the power minus alpha, right. Alpha I have taken out. So, this will give me this value and this minus, here I will get 1 by alpha because this 1 alpha I have taken out. So, e to the power alpha minus e to the power minus alpha, right. Okay. Now, if I put value of c, n alpha, so by alpha, so alpha will go. So, c if I put, so n mu will be there. So, if I put value of c, what I will get? N mu, this alpha will go, right, and then divide by this. So, this will go, it will be 1. So, minus 1 alpha. So, what I will get? N mu minus 1 alpha, this last term, and here I will get e to the power alpha plus e to the power minus alpha divided by e to the power alpha minus e to the power minus alpha. So, this is nothing but cot hyperbolic alpha. Okay. Where cot hyperbolic? Basically, where cot hyperbolic alpha equal to e to the power alpha plus e to the power minus alpha divided by e to the power alpha minus e to the power minus alpha, right. So, this is the magnetization for that. Okay. So, yes. So, this is the magnetization of the paramagnetic material, okay, or paramagnetic gas, whatever we have considered. So, here you see now this alpha contains the H, B. So, this M we write M equal to, and N mu. What is N mu? I can write Ms saturation magnetization, because all n number of moments are aligned in the magnetic field direction. This is the n mu. So, Ms equal to n mu, right, and this, yes, this I do not need, hopefully. Okay. So, m I am getting so m by ms from here I am getting, I am writing L alpha, this is called the Langevin function, this is the Langevin function. So, this is called Langevin function, Langevin function. This is Langevin function. Okay. So, now if you take approximation, so Langevin function if you draw, so here if I draw the curve, this L alpha, okay, it generally varies like this, okay, and this is a function of alpha. And this is nothing but this equal to m by ms, right. So, it is so magnetization, basically magnetization will vary like this. Okay. So, this the what is alpha is mu v by kBt. Okay. Now, if I consider this case 1 is that its magnetic field is low and temperature is high. At higher temperature and lower magnetic field, alpha will be very less than 1, right. It is less than 1 means B is small, T is higher temperature, lower field. Under this approximation, one can show that this Langevin function will gives us approximately, it will gives us alpha by 3. You can calculate. Okay. Just take the series e to the power alpha e to the power x is 1 plus x square by factorial 2, right, plus L cube by factorial 3. So, just take, okay, and put here, okay, put here, and you will find out that this under this condition it will be alpha by 3. So, this calculation you should do, this is very simple. Just put this value of E alpha, e to the power alpha, and you will get it. So, mu is, what is the mu v by kBt, and this 3 is there. So, this 3. Okay. So, under this condition m I am getting, I will get n mu. So, that means n mu square, B is mu 0 h by 3 kBt. Okay. So, this 3 kBt. So, from here one can find out chi equal to, one can find out chi for, one can find out for paramagnetism, paramagnetic material, paramagnetism. Okay. So, you will get chi equal to m by h. So, that will give you n number of moment or atoms per unit volume, mu square, the permanent dipole moment is mu, then mu 0 divided by 3 kB T. Okay. Now, here you can see this the susceptibility at higher temperature and lower field. Okay. So, there its chi will vary, it's not independent of temperature, it depends on temperature, So, how it depends? This chi equal to, it's proportional to 1 by T, inversely proportional to 1 by T, and that we write some constant C, where C equal to n mu square mu 0 divided by. So, this is permeability, absolute permeability for air, right, equal to 3 kb. So, this C is called Curie, this C is called the Curie constant, it is called the Curie constant, okay, because dipole moment of each atom, dipole moment attached with each atom, that is constant, right, for a particular type of atom. So, n number of the density of the material, that is also constant, it does not depend on field or other things, right, kb, everything here constant, right. So, thus C is constant, this is called Curie constant, and this x equal to C by T, that is called the Curie law, Curie law of paramagnetic material. So, it varies like this. Okay. So, at higher temperature basically it is the alpha by 3, it varies with alpha by 3, this ms, no, the m by ms equal to alpha by 3. So, it is the state, okay, this is the curve for alpha by 3, right. So, paramagnetism, it varies following this curve, right. So, if you plot this chi 1 by chi by T, so it will, you will get straight line. So, this is the variation of the inverse of chi with temperature in case of paramagnetic material. Or if you plot chi by T, chi versus T, so that this is like hyperbola kind of things, it should be hyperbola, right. This variation will be like this. Okay. So, if you get this type of features of susceptibility, so then it is, this metal is paramagnetic. So, yeah. So, I think I will stop here. These are based on classical theory of the Langevin theory, classical Langevin theory. So, same thing also I think in next class I will do for the using the quantum theory, okay, and we will get the, I will show that we will get the similar result, In case of diamagnetism also one can apply this quantum theory, but you will get exactly the same result. So, that is why I have not done that one, but for this I will do for quantum theory also. So, that is very interesting, we get the similar, but in modified way. So, that gives more information about the paramagnetism of the material. So, I will discuss in the next class. So, thank you for your attention.